That's a base hit left center field. It's going to run all the way to the wall. Spilborghs has scored. Here comes Gonzalez. Tulowitzki with a double. This is flat out remarkable. In the air to fairly deep center field, but the third out recorded by Marlon Byrd. 18 hitters come to the plate in the 8th inning. So how crazy was that 8th inning last night? Well, the guy you just saw in the picture, Clint Barmes, if Stewart's ball flies about 10-15 feet farther, he would have come up for a third time in the 8th inning. 17-2 the final. The Rockies over the Cubs last night. Good evening, everybody. With George Frazier, I'm Drew Goodman. That was something else. Everybody we talked to today said they'd never seen anything like that. Players, coaches, managers, it was remarkable.
And the thing was, there wasn't any squeaker line, ground balls going through the infield. It was line drives were hit hard, balls over the wall. And you're on the other side of that deal with the Cubs. It isn't any fun at all. And last night they got to watch 11 consecutive hits. That's a major league record. 12 runs, 13 hits, 18 plate appearances, franchise record. 13 straight reached base. That's all with 2 outs last night. And then the 8 extra base hits. And oh, by the way, they won 17-2. And a lot of this last night was fun to watch because a lot of guys that had struggled a little bit all of a sudden got hot. And the averages, as much as the ERAs ballooned to the Cubs, the averages of the Rockies skyrocketed with it.
Well, the Rockies broke 7 franchise records last night and set a major league record with 11 straight hits in that 8th inning. It was something else. Tonight they'll tee it up again. Who knows what's in store? We'll talk about one of those hot Rockies when we come back. That dugout was a busy place last night. It looked like I-25 around a rush hour. Guys were coming and going quickly in that 8th inning. It was 5-2. Houston Street was warming up. Then Houston Street got to take a seat, and you got the spectators. The Rockies hit for 28 minutes between the 2nd out and the 3rd out recorded in that wild 8th inning last night. All right, George Frazier tonight. Jason Hamill gets the baseball. Talk more about him in a little bit. But Dexter Fowler had gone through a slump after really being hot initially coming back from AAA, and he's swinging the bat very well again.
Well, he's swinging the bat well, and what I like what Dexter's been able to do, he's been able to handle the down and in fastball. That's where he'd struggled after being so hot. They gave him the fastball down and in on the right side. He's taken the ball from the opposite field, gone to the other way with it. And I think the important part of this, he's made the adjustments. This is a game of adjustments. He came up so hot after dropping his hands down in his stance that nobody could get him out. Then all of a sudden, everybody got him out, and he was able to make those adjustments and go after pitches where the scouting reports were saying pound him in and pound him low. They were doing that, and he wasn't able to handle it. Now he's handling it.
I was kidding him. I said, see how well you play when you don't feel well, because he wasn't feeling well yesterday. He told me he had strep throat. He got some medication today. He goes, I knew I wasn't feeling well. That's right. He's running around with strep throat and getting 3 hits every night. Let's go downstairs, check in with Alana.
All right, guys, thanks very much. Jim Tracy joked about that. He said, we're keeping the salt water away from him. If he has strep, let's keep him having strep because he's continuing to do so well at the plate. 6 for 15 on this current homestand. In fact, yesterday he notched his 15th multi-hit game of his career. And I talked to Jim Tracy about the importance of Dexter being successful in that leadoff spot.
You're going to develop a player, and your club is going to get, even in 2010, where you want it to end up. And moving forward into the future, Dexter Fowler's not going to learn a whole hell of a lot hitting 8th, because that's not where we want him to hit. We want him to hit up at the top. We want to create a dynamic up at the top of our order that causes major problems for the opposition.
And it's much like the situation last year with Carlos Gonzalez. Everybody wanted to know when he was going to get hot offensively, and Jim Tracy said he's got to play to get there. That's exactly what they're doing with Dexter Fowler, putting him in that leadoff spot. That's where they need him and want him to be successful. We have to remember he's still pretty young and he's still developing, guys.
He is developing. He's got a very high ceiling, that is for sure. Jason Hamill's been terrific at home this year. He'll have the baseball. Rockies and Cubs, come on back with us. Colorado Rockies baseball on FSN is brought to you by Quest High-Speed Internet. Get blazing fast speeds that won't burn up your wallet. By E470, quick, easy, and available to anyone. Test drive it today. by Ford Taurus, the all-new Ford Taurus. It's America's most innovative full-size sedan. Ford Taurus, drive one. And by Brakes Plus, a whole lot more. Pretty night at Coors Field. Rockies and Cubs game 2 of a 3-game set. Rockies went 0-2 in Chicago earlier this year. There's Tyler Colvin, rookie with 16 home runs this year. He's been installed at the top of the lineup the last couple of weeks. Starlin Castro, another good-looking rookie, will be in the 2-hole. Then Derek Lee, Aramis Ramirez, Marlon Byrd, an All-Star this year. 7-time All-Star Alfonso Soriano, Giovanni Soto, Mike Fontenot getting a start at second base, and Tom Gonzalez will pitch and bat ninth. First pitch brought to you by Domino's Pizza. And that's in there for a strike. Text keyword pizza followed by a space in your name to 95323 to receive your Domino's special offer to be entered to win a pizza party for 12. One weekly winner will be chosen. Here's the 0-1, and that just missed. 87 degrees is our first pitch temperature.
Another great night for baseball at Coors Field.
And the breaking ball is popped up shallow center field. Dexter started back, long run, and it's not going to be Fowler. Instead, it'll be Barmes showing great range. And those balls there could be problematic at Coors Field because of the vast area one has to cover.
Well, you got a
scouting report on Hamill.
91, 95, 75, 79, 80, 86 on the slider. The changeup at 78 and 82. Jason would like to go back and kind of revisit July so far. 1-3, 436 earned run average, 4-0 with a 183 in the month of June. Outstanding numbers there. Like to do that against the Cubs. He has faced them one time. 5 innings, 3 runs given up in that start.
You know, he's lost 3 in a row, and you look back at each of the starts. Has he been outstanding? No. Has he been awful? Not at all. I mean, he's been okay.
Well, the one start to end up being a loss against Cincinnati. 8 hits, 3 runs, punched out 10. Only walked 1 and comes up with the loss when the offense couldn't come through for him. 6-1 though here at Coors in 10 starts this year.
And 1-0 lifetime against the Cubs. 1 ball, 1 strike on Starlin Castro. And the breaking ball is fouled off.
Well, you like to, everybody brings a glove. Everybody likes to be a part of it. Well, this fan made a nice snag down here. Barehanded, got his food. It's beautiful. Nice job.
He made a play that like cargo right there. You're right. One, two, and here comes Mora on the move. 2 outs. Derek Lee coming up as we check the gloves. Gonzalez is in left. Dexter Fowler is in center. Ryan Spilborgh's in right. Melvin Moore gets the start against the left-hander at third. Tulowitzki Barmes up the middle. Brad Hopp at first base. And Miguel Olivo is doing the catching. Here's Derek Lee. First pitch swinging, ground ball to Tulowitzki. Strong inning for Jason Hamill. Took him 8 pitches to retire the side. You gotta like that. There's Dexter Fowler. Last time we were checking in on Dexter, he was trotting around the bases. He hit a 2-run home run in his second at bat in the 8th inning yesterday. Let's take a look at who will be followed by in Jim Tracy's lineup tonight. Clint Barmes in the 2-hole for the 3rd time this year. CarGo has a home run in each of his last 3 ball games. Troy Tulowitzki had his second multi-hit game since returning from the DL. Melvin Moore will bat next, and Ryan Spilborgh's, Brad Hopp, Miguel Olivo, and Jason Hamill as we check the scouting report on the former Pirate, 27-year-old left-hander Tom Gonzalez.
Well, he's been around with a couple of ball clubs, but 88, 92, 73, 76 on the curveball, slider, and changeup. The one pitch he will live with is the fastball. The secondary pitch, the one he'll use more than any, is the slider, and then changeup and then curveball, the least amount used in the ball game. Gonzalez, since coming off the disabled list, 5 starts he's made. He's 4-0 with a 2.83 earned run average. Former second-round draft pick of the Pirates. Another one of those arms they had anticipated getting to the big leagues and playing a huge role in what they had done.
He had a real good year, George, in 07 with the Pirates, going 14-10 with a 3.88 ERA. This is his best year since then. And that fastball misses. 1 ball, 1 strike on Dexter Fowler. They have a little bit of history. Dexter hit a low line drive off his leg a year ago and knocked him out of a ball game.
The kind of flashbacks you don't like to go back to, but that got in pretty good.
Yeah, he just collapsed. You know what? He scrambled instinctually to get to the baseball, and then his leg gave out. Oh, he gets rung up at first by Mike Estabrook. I didn't think he went around. We have a different vantage point, obviously, than Estabrook at first.
But he didn't hesitate. He's pretty emphatic with what he called there, too. He jumped out there pretty quick, attempted swing on the baseball.
Here's Clint Barmas.
Amazingly out on the road what Gonzalez has done. Well, I shouldn't say amazingly, because pitching at Wrigley Field can be trying at times. 3-2, 225 earned run average. The opposition's hit just 217 against him, and he's going to get 2 quick outs here in the first.
Let's take a look at the Cubs defensively tonight. Alfonso Soriano in his traditional spot now after coming up as a second baseman with the Yankees. Bird in center, Colvin in right. Ramirez, Castro, Mike Fontenot's first start since early July. Derek Lee at first and Giovanni Soto behind the plate. With the 4-hit night last night, Carlos Gonzalez has moved into 4th place in the batting race in the National League at .314. And George, you know, as he takes strike 1, it's not impossible here looking at the final couple of months of the season that he doesn't have a shot at winning the batting title. He's only 12 points behind the National League leader right now.
I'd agree with you. I think he has a great chance to do it as long as he continues to stay hot, not wear down at all as the season progresses.
Joey Votto is leading at .326. Here's his nightly home run, George.
Well, and the thing is, these aren't Coors Field home runs. They're home runs anyway. He's hit one off the 3rd deck facade. Here's another line drive into the corner.
Well, that'll help the batting average again. He is a special, special talent. So with 2 outs, Gonzalez at first for Troy Tulowitzki. Votto for Cal. Martin Prado with the Braves. And now Carlos Gonzalez, who began the day in a tie with Placido Polanco of the Phils.
Prado may have got hurt last night when he slid into home plate for the Braves to help him win that ball game on his wrist.
Votto right now leading the National League not only in hitting but also in home runs, and he's second in RBIs by 9 to Ryan Howard. Here's Tulowitzki, and that is pulled foul. Well, he jumped all over that.
Let's take a look at the keys to this game, brought to you by Suzuki. More runs, why not? The Cubs have been outscored 31-4. They were outscored last night 17-2. Hitters are on a roll. They are. It's top to bottom right now. Everybody seems to be swinging the bat very well. Jason Hamill, an 8-pitch first inning for a 1-2-3 inning. Continue that success and handle these Cubs.
Outfield extremely deep. Gonzalez draws a throw.
You know, last night when Marshall came into the game, he fed Tulowitzki down and in, hard breaking balls. Finally went in there with a fastball, and Tulo just roped it.
Troy was 2 for 2, 2 doubles in that 8th inning. Huge jump, and 20 seconds not going to get CarGo. That's stolen base number 15 for Gonzalez. Leading the Rockies in home runs with 20. Leading the Rockies in RBIs with 66. Leading the Rockies in hitting at .314 prior to that hit a moment ago. Leading the Rockies in stolen bases with 15. Leading the Rockies in hits. Leading the Rockies in runs. Should I stop now?
No, keep going.
Okay. He leads them in virtually every offensive category. 2 balls and a strike on Tulowitzki.
Gonzalez is the type of guy that will show changeup here. It's second best secondary pitch is the changeup, because the ultimate surprise. Guys don't look for it.
And a ground ball is short. Castro throws out Tulowitzki. Rockies leave Gonzalez at second base. We go to the second, no score. Aramis Ramirez will lead it off for Chicago. No score. We go to the second inning. Drew Goodman, George Frazier upstairs, and Alana Rizzo set with tonight's Great Colorado Payback Sideline Report. Hey, Alana.
Hey, guys. Thanks very much. The struggles of the Chicago Cubs have, of course, been very well documented. They haven't won the World Series since 1908. They haven't even been to the Fall Classic since 1945. In fact, it's the longest drought in all of professional sports of all of the leagues. National Football League, National Basketball Association, National Hockey League, and, of course, Major League Baseball. In fact, the last time the Cubs won a title, those other 3 leagues weren't even formed yet.
It is a long stretch, and it's not for lack of trying.
It's been teams, 84 team, the 89 team, other teams in the early 90s. They had opportunities, just couldn't get out of the first round. It'll happen eventually. I just don't know when.
Well, some don't think it'll ever happen, George. Remember our poll from last night, our Breaks Plus poll?
Right.
38% said it'll never happen, ever. We'll see the apocalypse before.
62% said it wouldn't happen. 38% said yes. 62 said no.
Oh, okay. So you add that backwards. So 6 out of 10. Cubs will never win. This is in the air down the right field line, and Spilborg is not going to get there. We have another good catch in the stands. It's a Rocky fan. That should be an out. Doesn't work that way?
Not last time I checked. There's been 2 nice catches, I can tell you that. 2 really nice catches. See, he brought the glove, the other guy didn't.
Oh, 1 to Marlon Byrd, double play ball. Good feed. Look at that play by Tulowitzki. A pirouette after the feed from Barmes, adding a little flash to the turn.
That looked like pretty good feed from Barmes, but the runner, Ramirez, was getting on him fairly quick coming down the line. Getting on Tulowitzki. Not sure why he made the spin. He did to complete the double play ball. The feed looked to be pretty good there. Maybe the feet got a little bit crisscrossed on the bag. Maybe that's why he rotated around to get the right foot behind him before he threw on to first base.
Give you an idea how athletic Tulowitzki is. 2 outs. Here's Soriano. One ball, 1 strike.
Let's see right here. Let's see where his feet are and how maybe he crisscrossed. So he got the right foot there, and he's not going to be able to throw off the front side, so he had to spin to do something to get the weight transfer to the back foot.
Pitch high and in, 2-1.
Yeah, just make him aware of the ball in. He cheats so quick on the fastball, and he likes to pull, dead happy on the inner half of the plate. Made him aware at 93.
Tulo sets his feet, and Brad Hopp on the other end has it. Another quick inning. That was a 7-pitch inning. Time to check our AMCO clutch plays of the week. Ubaldo Jimenez on Thursday, 7 dominant innings as he wins for the 16th time against just 2 defeats this year, taking care of the Pirates. And then last night, everybody's going to talk forever about that 8th inning, and why not? But there were some wonderful defensive plays made last night as well. Fowler and Gonzalez not crashing was a good one as well. Clutch plays of the week brought to you by AMCO AA MCO. Tom Gonzalez to face Melvin Mora here to begin the 2nd inning, and Mora takes strike 1. Great line last night from Jim Tracy after the ball game. He patted Melvin on the back. Melvin pinch hit in the 8th inning, ended up getting 2 at-bats and had a couple of hits. Patted him on the back after the ball game. He said, "Nice game tonight, Melvin."
Pretty good ball game, huh?
Played 1 inning. Played half an inning.
Played a half. Got tired running.
Outside, 2-1. Home plate umpire tonight, Hunter Wendelstedt. And Mike Estabrook at first. Jerry Lane is at second, and Mike Winters at third.
Hunter, good umpire. His dad was a very good umpire. Harry Wendelstedt. His dad wore the pouch out front, though.
And that is back up the middle and off the glove of Gonzalez for a hit. Must feel like a pin cushion here at Coors Field. A lot of guys have fired right back at him in his starts here.
Well, I think this caught the glove by accident, to be honest with you. I mean, he was just hit right back at him so hard on the Hyundai cam, and his reaction to it. I mean, it's just, you know, it hit off of the glove, and he was like, "Oh, good, hit leather." Didn't hit cloth, it hit leather. Perfect.
Here's Spilborghs at the plate. Ryan's hitting his last 8 ball games. He's another guy who pinch hit in the 8th inning and ended up getting a couple at bats. He was 1 for 2.
You know, if a pitcher sits here and tells you, "I think I had this, I thought I caught it," trust me, I think he's lying. See, watch. No, you didn't get it. Trust me.
And 3-0 on Spilborghs. Maybe Gonzalez got rattled. He got rattled in his start here last year. He gave up 6 runs while recording only 4 outs. And a 4-pitch walk to Spilborghs after that bullet up the middle by Mora. So 2 on for Brad Hopp here in the 2nd. And here's the start for Tom Gonzalez last time he was here. 6 runs, 6 hits for the Rockies. And Barnes 2 for 3 lifetime, including a home run against Gonzalez. Alan Trammell's running the club tonight. Lou Piniella is attending a funeral back in Tampa, and he'll be gone the next 3 ball games. So Alan Trammell is very familiar with managing at the big league level. What a tremendous player Trammell was with the Tigers. And potentially the next Cubs manager.
I still think that they're going to hire Sandberg as the manager. But Trammell will be considered for the job, as will Bob Brenly, our partner in a broadcast booth next door. They say the new owners were bleacher bums in the 80s. So they're very fond of Ryan Sandberg.
Anybody who followed the Cubs in that time frame, and he's an old teammate of yours, and he's a tremendous player.
Great player. 40 home runs.
One of the first, George, of the big second baseman.
Yeah, then Jeff Kent followed right behind him. But I'll tell you what, to his credit, he got a token interview in 2007 for the job in Chicago. And he said, "You know, we can't really honestly consider you for this job only because you've never managed." He's rode the buses for 4 years to learn how to do this. Big sweeping slider. That's his out pitch. And he used it to get Hopp here for the first out in the 2nd inning. Hopp been pretty hot those last 4 ball games. 5 for 12. A couple of doubles, a couple of home runs, some RBIs.
Here's Olivo, and he hits it to deep center field. Bird going back, still going back, taking the run. UFC for all. Miguel Olivo, 3-run bomb. Number 13 for Olivo. RBIs 45, 46, and 47.
He's been trying to work down and in constantly with a breaking ball. And this time it's a changeup. Appears to be with a little bit of cut to it, high up into the zone at 84 miles an hour on the Hyundai cam. You can see that ball leave the yard in a hurry. He knew it.
Last year he hit 23 home runs in a Royals uniform. He's enjoying the best season of his career, hitting well over 300.
Well, once again, the catching tandem that the Rockies have put on the field this year between Iannetta, who's still yet to get really hot, and Olivo accounted for 20 home runs and 64 RBIs. That's a pretty nice production out of that position.
Yeah, no, Iannetta had spent some time in AAA, and the average isn't what you'd expect it to be. He's hit some big home runs for the Rockies. He has 2 walk-off home runs. 2 outs, Dexter Fowler. He struck out in the first inning. That's in there. Soto has 14 home runs among catchers in the National League. Brian McCann has 14. Miguel right behind him with 13. Ron Barajas for the Mets has a dozen. Chris Snyder has 10. Next half inning, we'll tell you about some of the commerce that took place today in Major League Baseball with the trade deadline. There were a number of moves. The Cubs were involved. Strike 3. Dexter Fowler called out on strikes. Productive second inning for the Rockies. Base hit Mora, walk to Spilborghs, and then Miguel Olivo leaving the yard. See that little hop? You know a guy's going to be trotting.
This Bud's for the Blues, the Reds, and the Warriors. This Bud's for the Giants, the Jazz, and the Magic. This Bud's for the home team.
Well, the Rockies played a little Earl Weaver baseball, George, in that second inning. A hit, a walk, and a 3-run shot. Jason Hamill's first pitch is grounded to Melvin Mora. Good pickup, and the tag was not made on Giovanni Soto. So he is safe. Mora's throw sailed a little bit.
Couple of hops. Second one's going to gain some momentum. Took the angles on it. Had plenty of time to make the throw. Did not.
Actually, Melvin did the hard part, getting that kind of in between topspin hop. So it's an error on Mora. Here's Mike Fontenot's first start since July 9th. And Fontenot, the former LSU star, takes a strike. There were a number of trades in Major League Baseball today. The Dodgers were busy. The Cubs and Dodgers made a fairly significant deal earlier today. We'll tell you about after this pitch. Swung on and missed. It's 0-2 on Fontenot. Ted Lilly, he's a steady left-handed pitcher, was acquired by the Dodgers along with Ryan Theriot, who started last night. He and Fontenot and Brad Hopp, part of that great LSU team in 2000, won a national championship. They go to the Dodgers. Besednik's trade a couple days ago. Octavio Dotel, the closer of the Pirates, was traded today to the Dodgers as well.
Well, they're using Broxton so much.
He got blown up today,
Yeah, well,
George.
he's in the 8th inning again because they don't have a 7th and 8th inning guy, and it's about the 9th time they've had to do it with him.
Well, he was trying to get a 4-out save in a 1-0 game in San Francisco. Gave up a 2-run home run to Pat Burrell, and that was the final score, 2-1 San Francisco. Fontenot fouls off this pitch again.
It worked a year ago for Joe Torre, where he started to overuse Broxton in July and August. I'm not sure you can go to that well twice this year, so that's why they went out and got Dotel. Sednick gives them a left fielder with some speed. Theriot, middle infielder, and Ted Lilly, the 5th starter, they needed in the rotation.
He got him. Back foot slider, and Fontenot is gone. How would you evaluate the deal if you look at this pitch again? The Dodgers clearly need more starting pitching.
Well,
Ted Lilly.
I think it's a great trade for the Dodgers. They got a young, very good middle infielder in Theriot. They got a starter in Ted Lilly that should prosper in that ballpark versus what he's had to do in Wrigley Field. And then Dotel's going to be a good 7th, 8th inning guy for you. They're just trying to shorten the ball game up the best they can off that young starting staff of Kershaw and Billingsley that don't typically go deep into games.
Orsolani gets the sacrifice down 3-4. Soto to second base, and with 2 outs, Tyler Colvin will come up. Fans, remember, when the Rockies score 7 or more runs during any game, or maybe in any inning, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 and get your Rockies Taco Special. Hamill's going to step off the back as Tulowitzki it broke for the bag. Colvin a pop to second, leading off the ball game. They got a chance at him, but the ball was into the body of Soto.
Now, really quickly, you can see this tag, and Tulowitzki's done such a good job of getting the foot and the knee, but the ball just popped out. Another part of that trade I'm sure the Dodgers looking at. Cole was an all-star left-hander, but he had a couple of arm surgeries. He's had 4 of them. Has not gone back-to-back all year long, so you're looking all the help you can try to find.
Blake DeWitt's going to come back to the Cubs. Similar type player to Ryan Theriot. DeWitt hits from the left side, but he makes a lot less money than Theriot. Giants made a move today as well. We'll show you in a second. And also the Padres. Here's the 1-1, and this is fisted to shallow center field. Here comes Dexter. He's going to get there. Nice running catch by Fowler. Soto left at second base. Middle of 3. Rockies have a 3-0 lead on Chicago. Time to go outside the box with Jack in the box. More on last night. Colorado batted around 3 times. Twice, of course, in the 8th inning. Each position in the batting order, each base at least twice. Each player with an official plate appearance had a hit. And the first 7 hitters recorded at least 2 RBIs. The last team to bat around twice in the same inning, Boston in 03, when they scored 14 in the first inning of a ball game where they ended up, I think, with 23. Outside the box, brought to you by Jack in the Box. Clint Barmas, our Geico quoted, the hits just keep coming. Tom Cruise and a few good men. There's the 1-strike pitch to Barmas, 1-1.
Drew, we had a couple of questions from different people that came in about last night. I'm going to put it right there and I'm going to let you answer it. How's that?
You got it. Pop up middle of the diamond. Gonzalez thought about it. Ramirez said, you're not allowed to catch it. You're a non-athlete. You're a pitcher. Not fair. Carlos Gonzalez had a base hit his first time up. All right, some of the camera guys wanted to know what's the most runs in an inning. 17. Boston scored 17 against Detroit in the 7th inning, June 18th of 1953. Most consecutive guys to reach base. The Rockies had 13 straight reach last night. The record's 19. The first inning, the Brooklyn Dodgers against the Cincinnati Reds, May of 1952. 19 straight reach. Gonzalez went to the University of Kansas for a couple of years, then was drafted at Triton Junior College. Ramirez in foul ground. It's not going to have a play. George, most famous player ever to come out of Triton Junior College. It's not Tom Gonzalez.
Man, I am trying to think of it. I know who it is, right on the tip of my tongue.
Former teammate of yours.
Never checked where they went to school.
Hall of Famer who passed away way too young. Kirby Puckett.
Wow.
This ball is hit well to right center field. Did he do it again? Oh, yeah. No, it's in play off the top of the wall. What did that hit?
Jerry Lane was all the way out there to look to see what it did hit, and Jim Tracy's not out to argue it, so obviously they felt like it hit the top of the wall. You'll see again, you're going to get a really good look of it right now. Fastball away again. That hit right on the yellow again. Same as Brad Hopp's last night. 5:31 now. Gonzalez is against the Cubs in 8 career games. They haven't figured out the equation.
That's the 3rd ball this year and the 2nd in 2 nights that hit the yellow padding, George, and instead of skipping over the fence for a home run, ricochets back onto the field. It happened earlier, and then Brad Hopp last night looked like he hit one out. Look at this one from Brad last night. There must be some sort of, you know, like piece of metal there that.
It's the top of the fence. It has a yellow pad on it.
Tulowitzki pops up the pitch from Gonzalez. 2 outs. See if Melvin Mora can pick up Tulowitzki.
See, what if it has those open diamonds like this, like on a chain link, you know? And then the pad over the top of it. Pad's about almost 4 to 6 inches wide, too. See, it almost looks like the fence. See, it's kind of like right here is the end of the fence, and then the padding's out in the front of it. And it's hitting right there in that front and shooting back.
I think it was Helton who hit that back part of the yellow padding earlier this year and a kick back onto the field. And there's a base hit from Mora. So Melvin Mora, 2-out knock to make it 4-0 Colorado. He's 2 for 2 tonight. You know, ever so quietly, George, he has been a very valuable asset to the Rockies this year.
I know a lot of his RBIs haven't strictly come at third base. He's played some second and left field and first base, but yet you start to add those totals up of what he and Ian Stewart have produced out of those positions. Once again, it's pretty good numbers.
And how about the fact that he's 6 for his last 7 at the plate? That's not bad. Spielborg's walked his first time. Here's the 1-0. Gonzalez has pitched well on the road, a 2.25 ERA. The opposition hitting just 217 against Gonzalez when he's been away from Wrigley Field this year. But the Rockies have 4 runs on 5 hits as they continue their work here in the 3rd inning. Three and up. Swinging 3-0, and this is driven to center field, left center field. It's going to stay in the ballpark. Marlon Byrd makes the catch. In the inning, the Rockies get a triple from Carlos Gonzalez and a 2-out single from Melvin Mora.
We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day.
Tonight's Fast Cash Sideline Report brought to you by Fast Cash Gold Centers, where you'll always get 40% more for your gold. Let's check in with Alana Rizzo with the score 40-0. Alana?
All right, guys, thanks very much. It has been a very challenging 14 months for Ryan Dempster and his family. His daughter Riley was diagnosed with DeGeorge disease just days after she was born in April of 2009. Basically, it can have up to 186 different symptoms. Very hard to hone in on exactly what it is that the child has. She had a lot of difficulty swallowing. She had to have a trach inserted, and what they thought was going to be for her entire life. But almost a year later, Riley is happy, healthy, meeting her milestones, and she still requires a feeding tube for now, but everything is progressing thanks to a lot of vigorous therapy, better than they could have ever expected. And of course, despite the team's struggles here with the Chicago Cubs, Ryan says, you know what, this puts everything into perspective. I just look at what she goes through on a daily basis, and winning a World Series title doesn't necessarily rack up to what my daughter has gone through and how well she's been going through it, guys.
Obviously, we wish them all the best. But if your family's well and healthy, you got 98% of your problems whipped. 1 strike count on Derek Lee. Gonzalez had a rough ride. It's been smooth sailing so far for Jason Hamill. 21 less pitches also. And Derek Lee's in a ditch 0-2. Ground ball to Brad Hop, and he came and got that one. He needed to come get that, so he didn't get the tweener.
Well, still not an easy play because it was a very short hop into his glove, and off a very strong man at the plate. Hop just seems to be a natural, having a lot of fun playing first base.
You know, that's what his manager Jim Tracy said. He looks very comfortable over there.
Well, again, this is a guy that played first base through high school. He played it in college for LSU, a couple of years in the minor leagues before going to the outfield. Drafted, and if you wonder why they moved him to the outfield, there's a couple of reasons. One was Todd Helton, obviously. The other was when he was on the mound in high school and drafted, he was up 93, 94 miles an hour to utilize that strong arm in the outfield.
Good slider, and it's 1-1 on Aramis Ramirez. I'll show you that Padre trade we mentioned, or a couple of trades. They get Miguel Tejada from the Orioles for a Double-A pitcher, and Ryan Ludwig in a 3-way deal that involved Cleveland also goes from the Cardinals to San Diego, trying to get some more offense. Ludwig with 11 home runs, 43 driven in, battled some injuries this year. There's a chance for Tulowitzki, and 1, 2, 3 go down the Cubs in the 4th inning. Rockies leading 4-0. Time for the Breaks Plus Take a Break poll of the game. It's our Sweet 16 of ballpark food. Text your votes to 95323. I hope you've had a lot of fun with this. We're down to the final 4. March Madness here in late July. Cracker Jacks and peanuts, hot dogs and hamburgers. Could it get more American than that? And Brad Hopp fouls off the first pitch. All right, tonight it's Cracker Jacks and peanuts. Rocks one for Cracker Jack. There's a prize inside. You get to eat and you get a toy with it. Hard to beat, George. Rocks two for peanuts. Elephants can't be wrong. Show this text at Brakes Plus and get a $15 oil change and filter in August. That's a great deal from Brakes Plus.
I was going to see, I just interested to see if Gonzalez would give him a fastball, because he got him pretty good with a slider before. He's throwing 2 in a row, and it counts even a 1-1. Set up fastball in. More to make him aware of it than anything else, and he missed very badly.
Brad's 0 for 5 in his career matchups with Gonzalez. He's emerged the last few days from a recent slump. 5 for his last 12, couple home runs. 2-2.
Got away with a hanger. Look at it again. I mean, hanging breaking ball, bell tied. Didn't ever get to the outer half of the plate. Gonzalez knows he got away with one.
Here's the breaking ball, and it's pop foul. Ramirez will have a play. Let's take a look at our Excel Energy fun fact with 1 out in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Last night, Colorado fell 1 hit shy of the major league record of 12 consecutive hits in a game. Now they set the record of 11 straight hits in an inning. And the record shared by the 1920 Cardinals and the 1930 Brooklyn Dodgers. Kind of alluded to that last night, saying it wasn't a major league record, that the major league record was 12 straight hits. That's accurate, but it's over more than 1 inning. And you say, wait a second, how can that be? Well, both times an out was recorded on the base paths, so there wasn't a batter producing an out, and therefore you could carry it forward to the next inning. But in terms of consecutive hits in 1 inning, last night's 11 straight for the Rockies was a major league record. 1-2 on Miguel Olivo, who hit a monstrous home run in the 2nd inning, a 3-run shot to get the Rockies going. Time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. Tom Gonzalez missed up to Miguel Olivo, and Miguel Olivo hit it 430 feet straight away. His 13th home run of the year. And this time Gonzalez wins the matchup. 2 outs. That'll bring up Jason Hamill.
Former #1 draft pick Christian Friedrich coming back in his first start since getting hit with the line drive a couple of weeks ago. Not faring very well. 2 innings, 3 hits, a couple of earned runs, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts, trailing in the ball game 2-0 at this time, bottom of the 3rd.
Jason Hamill grounded to second his first time.
First 10,000 to the gates on August 1st will receive a Frontier Airlines luggage tag. That's tomorrow. If you haven't bought your ticket, get busy. Packed house here at Coors Field tonight.
And Mike Estabrook rings up Jason Hamill. 5 strikeouts for Gonzalez. We go to the 5th inning. The Rockies leading 4-0 over the Cubs. Colorado Rockies baseball on FSN is brought to you by AT&T. Find out what's possible with the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T. Rethink possible. By Dex One Marketing Solutions, business results. By Old Chicago. Eat, drink, be yourself. And by Hyundai Uncensored. Real people, real comments on the 2011 Hyundai Sonata. Visit your Colorado Hyundai dealers today. Warm night at the ballpark, not far from the Platte River in downtown Denver. The Rockies have 4 runs on 5 hits. Miguel Olivo, a 3-run home run off Tom Gonzalez in the 2nd. Jason Hamill's been terrific so far. He's given up 1 hit. Ramirez single in the 2nd inning. Marlon Byrd leading things off, takes ball 1.
Anytime you enter the 5th inning and you have no one out, but you've only thrown 8 balls in the entire game, phenomenal how much he's pounded the strike zone, and they've helped out. They've been very aggressive, but he's been down all day, so you get a lot of ground ball outs and quick outs. 35 pitches working here in the 5th.
At this rate, he could throw a double dip. He's averaged a little more than 8 pitches an inning. And just 2 out of the strike zone every inning. 1-1 on Marlon Byrd, an all-star this year for the first time in his career. And he's got another base hit. That's how he has kept that average above 300 this year. Alfonso Soriano coming up as we go downstairs again and see what Alana Rizzo's up to. Alana.
All right, guys, this one is for the movie buffs out there. It's time now for our AT&T trivia. And of course, we've talked about the drought that the Cubs have had in the championship. But despite their championship drought, there are 3 fictional World Series titles that the Cubs have obtained in 3 different films. What are those 3 films?
There was some directors that lived in Chicago, and they're just
under the glove of Mora. He's upset with himself. He was in position to make that play, and coming home is Marlon Byrd. The throw to the plate, not in time, and going all the way to third is Soriano.
look at Byrd. He's very upset at home plate right now with Soto because he did not tell him to get down and slide. He came in standing up the whole way, and lucky he didn't get thrown out. Great relay throws by the Rockies to make this close, too. Great arm in left field, and Gonzalez, when this ball scoots right by Moore. Watch, Moore's disappointed. He thought he backhanded this ball and it just stayed down. It didn't come back up. And Gonzalez gets over into this corner. Was going to stay in, and the long throw in. We'll go right back to it now, but watch what happens coming into the home plate area. Tells him it's so late to get down. He was about to touch the bag when he told him to get down at the plate.
4-1, and Soto fouls that off. It's 0-2.
Yeah, he's letting him know. Didn't let him know soon enough. I'm trying to get any more friction in what's already started on this
just don't
clubhouse and what's happened with the Cubs this year with their manager retiring.
Yeah, just don't get Zambrano involved.
It's anger management. He's okay now.
Carlos did come back to the team yesterday, reinstated. He's going to work out of the bullpen. He had to be separated from Derek Lee recently in the dugout. Two and two.
Tell you what,
how close that play was.
It was very close. Tell you right now. So he doesn't slide at all, and he just got in to put the corner of the foot down. Well up to. Should have told him well up the line of whether he was going to have to get down or not. He was right in line with it.
Alamo looking for the strikeout here with that runner at third base and nobody out. Not going to get it. This one's hit well to right field. It's going to get the run in at least. And the catch is made by Spilborghs.
Know your ballpark, know your distances, and flight's a baseball. That's the only reason Ryan Spilborghs made a catch on that baseball. The only reason. His knowledge of this park and that auxiliary scoreboard in right field. 10 ground ball outs in this game so far for Hamill. They get one elevated on him here. It's all about timing. See him look to see where it is. He grabbed the chicken wire or that fence there, and watch when he jumps, he's going to utilize that to help pull him to get up high enough to make that catch. That'll be on the highlight reel tonight.
Hey, very resourceful.
Brad Hopp's like, wow. Hopp told me he likes first. He only has to jog about 18 feet out of the dugout. Stood all the way to right field all the time.
Fontenot lines one to Dexter Fowler. And that'll bring up Gonzalez with 2 outs.
By the way, I don't know if you knew it or read the paper today. Todd Helton was 0 for 2 with a sacrifice last night. Drove in the winning run with a sacrifice fly for the Casper Ghost. Today he's supposed to play 9 innings, or at least 5 anyway, in the field for Casper.
Here's Hamill's first pitch to Gonzalez. That's right down the middle. 4-2 the Rockies lead. Cubs have lost 3 straight. And keep this in mind for later in the ball game. They're a man short on their bench because of the trade of Terrio. They have Baker and Nady on the right side. Fukudome doesn't play that much anymore on the left side, and Coy Hill, their backup catcher, is a switch hitter.
The one guy they probably go to would be Dexter. I mean, he can swing the bat a little bit. Had some RBIs. He's a guy that they may, it's pitching wise, that they could go to.
Now you go to Zambrano if you want to pull him out of the bullpen. He's there. He's one of the top hitting pitchers in the game.
Well, things were on cruise control coming into this inning, and the Cubs have put 2 spot up on them. You can see those numbers. Very quickly retiring these Cubs.
Yeah, 3-1 on Gonzalez.
Dexter, by the way, has 12 sacrifice bunts. That leads the National League. All that brought to you by Doug Marino. It's $1.
Repair that chip in your windshield. Call Safelite Auto Glass at 303-287-5000 or go to safelight.com. And the 3-2 swung on and missed. Second strikeout for Hamill, but the Cubs get a pair of runs. Leadoff single by Bird and a triple from Soriano.
Welcome back to Coors Field, everybody. 4-2 as we make our way to the bottom of the 5th inning. Dexter Fowler at the plate. Time now to answer our AT&T trivia question. Despite their championship drought, the Cubs have won 3 fictional World Series titles in 3 films. And what were the films, guys? Any idea?
Little Big League.
Nope. Is that all you got?
Rookie of the Year.
Yes, very good. Rookie of the Year.
Hold on. Let me think.
He's got him on the seat. That's not fair. You have a monitor.
No,
I can't tell.
we don't. We don't.
Back to the Future 2 and Taking Care of Business.
Taking Care of Business.
Very good. Very good, Goodman. Proud of you.
Thank you. Jim Belushi was in that, right? Take Care of Business?
I believe so. One of the Belushis.
Clint Barmas will, I'm mentioning Clint Barmas, but Dexter Fowler's at the plate. Clint on deck. I was looking down at Clint. I had a note on him. Dexter 0 for 2. And he's behind 0-2 here. Rockies got 3 in the second on a 3-run home run from Miguel Olivo. Added a run in the 3rd. Carlos Gonzalez a 1-out triple and then a 2-out single from Melvin Mora. And Derek Lee with the long wingspan of a man 6'5", once recruited to play basketball at North Carolina. Let's take a look at our Quest high-speed pitch tonight. Gonzalez at 92. Jason Hamill regularly works in the mid-90s. That's brought to you by Quest, the high-speed internet provider, the Colorado Rockies.
By the way, Clint Barmas, I bet you don't know this, 13th best average against left-handers in the National League, and he's hit a ball into left center that Soriano's going to get on. Pretty good.
6 in a row set down now by Gonzalez since the Mora hit. But here comes a guy that he has not figured out, nor has quite a few others in the National League since the All-Star break of last year. You put the last full season together, if you will, All-Star break from 09 through the All-Star break here in 2010, and Carlos Gonzalez, you will find, statistically one of the top hitters in the game.
Let's see where they go with him here, because they haven't come into this area at all yet. Everything's been away, away, away. There's the fastball. Started it away at 91 miles an hour. And so he's missed already. He's missed with a fastball up here. But let's move that right there. Now he's going fastball in. See, they're just not giving him. The thing I think with him that people do, I really believe this, is they end up taking a pitch to him. They take a pitch and they throw a slider, and it happens to be right here, right there on the knee. Then a bad swing and a miss, so they go back out there again. See, now you see a guy check swing like that, he's looking away from a pitcher's perspective. See, now they've gone here, 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 here. See if he takes it away or goes in. Wants that fastball back inside again, not letting him extend, doesn't matter.
He's now 3 for 3. He's going to have another extra base hit. In fact, it goes all the way to the wall. And for a moment, I thought he'd have a chance at a triple. He's now got a single, a double, and a triple. There's only one thing left, George.
Yeah, he'll get that here pretty soon.
So CarGo's in scoring position for Tulowitzki. Here's tonight's Colorado Mining Association Power Hit of the Week. Carlos Gonzalez touching the third deck against the Pirates on Wednesday night. Did you know that coal lights 50% of the light bulbs in the country, and it's mined right here in Colorado? Tulowitzki 0 for 2. And he bounces this one to short. We'll go to the 6th inning. The Rockies up 4-2, top of the order for the Cubbies. Tonight's E470 Road Ahead brought to you by E470. Quick, easy, and available to anyone. Test drive it today. The Cubs tomorrow, then a much-needed day off on Monday. The Giants for a mini 2-game set. And the Rockies will get the back of the rotation for the Giants before heading to Pittsburgh. I mean, the back of the rotation for the Giants pretty good. But they're going to get Jonathan Sanchez and Madison Bumgarner, the rookie.
2 left-handers.
Lincecum won again yesterday. Barry Zito was terrific today. Colvin is behind quickly. 2 strikes to Jason Hamill. Hamill trying to win for the 8th time this year. 10-game winner last year for the Rockies. And he has been the most consistent starter other than Ubaldo Jimenez this year for Colorado. It's good to see Jeff Francis kind of lost in that huge 8th inning, but Jeff threw the ball very well again yesterday, George.
Yes, he did. You know, again, that's one of those deals where with Jeff, you look to get 6 innings every time he goes out. I know he'd like to go deeper into the ball game, 7th or 8th, but he had command of the game yesterday. Hope that carries over.
You know, you get this question a lot, I'm sure, because I do, out and about. Here, the Rockies about to go on a roll, 26 runs in their last couple of ball games. And the way I answer that is, other than absolutely you hope so, but it comes down to night in, night out getting quality starts. Because if you have a chance to win, if the starting pitcher gives you a really good chance to win every night, that's how you go on those streaks. Because you're not going to score 10 and 12 and 8 and 17 every night.
The game
it doesn't work that way.
The game has not changed. You look at every team that's in the playoffs, teams that get to the World Series, teams that are at the top of their division, they can pitch. They got a good bullpen and they catch the baseball. The hitting is really 4th.
Starlin Castro 0 for 2. And that's going to bounce over Melvin Mora's head. I'm going to bring up Derek Lee. This date in history is brought to you by Dex One, Marketing Solutions Business Results. Back in '95 on July 31st, the Mets traded former two-time Cy Young Award winner Brett Saberhagen and Dave Swanson to the Rockies for Juan Acevedo and Arnold Gooch. Derek Lee, a ground ball to short, and a ground ball to Brad Hopp at first.
Thinking about it, it's just a little bit of distraction.
Let's take a look at the Amica hit zone on Derek Lee. Amica, it's not how you're covered, it's how you're treated.
A tall, upright guy, so you see most of those high averages are in the upper half of that strike zone.
Strike on Lee. Derek hitting .321 over his last 18 ball games. Of late, just 1 for 12. This is pop foul. And Spilborghs can't quite get there. 2-strike count. For all your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Braconier at 303-777-3037. Think green, think Braconier. Todd Helton, for a while, was the annual Gold Glove winner, and then kind of Derek Lee took over. Now that torch has been passed to Albert Pujols in the National League. Lee will turn 35 in early September. And a ground ball to Mora. There's one on to first. Boy, I tell you what, Barmes did a wonderful job to get that to Brad Hopp and even make it a play. Well, I just thought he was going to eat the baseball.
Part of the reason behind this was Mora. I love why it's going to get right on his heels, so a little bit of a delay to get to him. And then he goes to the infield side with that strong arm. The one thing about Clint Barmes, he can go back, he can go side to side around the bag and yet still get the velocity on the baseball in the long stretch by Brad Hopp.
Bring up Ramirez. He turns a double play as well as any second baseman in the game. And he does it in creative manners. I mean, that time he just kind of jumped to clear himself from the base runner and still fired a strike to Brad Hopp. I really didn't think they were going to have a play at first, and it was kind of a bang-bang deal.
It's the exchange that's so fast. I mean, you watch it here in his hands are very, very quick. And he works at it just playing catch in the outfield.
Home run swing from Ramirez. 0-2. Ramos got off to just a horrendous start this year. He missed most of spring training and then was activated for the start of the season. He said he was ready to go, but he really wasn't. On June 8th, when he went on back on the DL, he was hitting .168 with 5 home runs. Now, since his return, he's at .310 with 10 home runs, 9 here in the month of July. That's what you expect from Aramis Ramirez. That's what you've always gotten from Aramis Ramirez. And you respect that he wanted to get going on, April the 5th this year, but the numbers suggest he was not ready. 1-2, swung on and missed. Good pitch by Jason Hammond. Safely through the 6th inning, the Rockies leading 4-2.
This Bud's for the Blues, the Reds, and the Warriors. This Bud's for the Giants, the jazz, and the magic. This Bud's for the home team.
Welcome back, 6th inning. Time for the Coors Light Freeze Can. Look at this play on this turn by Tulowitzki. Little pirouette. Tagged the bag with the right foot, kind of spun him around. He fired that 95-mile-an-hour heater at Brad Hopp. That was the Frost Brewed Coors Light Freeze Can. Let's take a look at our Breaks Plus poll of the game. Sweet 16 of ballpark food. Cracker Jacks or peanuts, folks? Let's see how we're doing. Text those answers to 95323. Peanuts over Cracker Jacks by a 2-to-1 margin, basically. Keep those votes coming in. Brought to you by Breaks Plus. We have over 500 votes. We want to break 1 million. Gonzalez to Mora.
No, he meant like
strike one.
500, not 500,000. He meant like 500.
I know, and we want to break 1 million votes.
Oh,
we still
okay.
have,
you know, we got a long time.
Got 3.5 innings left. Moore is 2 for 2, and Moore is 3 for 3. Can't hit a ball any harder than that, can you? Moore's got 5 straight hits, going back to the 2 he produced in the 8th inning last night.
See this pitch again. Good pitch by Gonzalez. And again, this is where Mora is seeing the baseball and then reacting to where it is and going with it. Every time a pitcher runs a ball down and away from the right-hander and takes velocity off of it, you hope you roll over it. It's just a professional job of hitting, taking it into right field.
See if the Rockies can build another run here. Cubs have closed to within 2. Colvin in right field will handle this. And that'll bring up Brad Hopp again. Rockies 15 games over 500 at home. That trend needs to continue. Their great play at Coors Field. If you look to the final 2 months of the season, this is the final day of July. And then out on the road, the Rockies naturally need to be a whole lot better than they've been so far. Their next road trip, 7-game trip, Pittsburgh and Citi Field against the Mets.
Well, Carlos Zambrano's up playing catch down in the Cub bullpen.
Two 2-0 on Hopp. The Pirates at home this year 23 and 26. So they're close to 500 despite an awful record. And the Mets at home have been terrific. They're 32 and 18. Mets 52 and 51 beginning play today. Two and 2 on Hopp.
By the way, I hope to see Aaron Cook. There's some results on his foot. Fouled the ball off of it in batting practice earlier today.
Yeah, he was hobbling around in a great deal of pain. And we don't have an update on Aaron. That's a fair ball. When we do, we'll pass it along if we get one tonight. 2 outs and Miguel Olivo coming up, first base open. Let's see how Alan Trammell handles this. Arizona Diamondbacks, man, they've made a ton of moves. Chad Quall's gone. He's off to Tampa. He was their closer for a player to be named later. Chris Snyder, their catcher, was sent to Pittsburgh in a 5-player deal. Dan Herron to the Angels earlier this week. Edwin Jackson, who had the no-hitter, he was sent to the White Sox. They are going to walk Olivo. You see who the Pirates sent back to Arizona? A lot of veteran guys. Bobby Crosby, DJ Carrasco and Ryan Church.
But what that is that's all money that ends immediately at the end of the year, and you just wipe it off your books and restart with free agency. And Jerry DiPoto, I think, is trying to clean up his ball club, as well as the Pirates trying to clean up a little bit.
So Jason Hamill will come up with 2 on and 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th, with the Rockies ahead 4-2. Hamill has been very good tonight. He's allowed the 2 runs on just 4 hits. And a line drive to Colvin and right. I got all excited, and then I looked up, and Colvin was playing about 75 feet on the outfield grass. 4-2 Colorado. Time for the Cooney Lexus look back. Miguel Oliva with 2 aboard in the 2nd inning launches one to center field. A 3-run shot. His 13th home run of the year. 3rd inning, Melvin Mora with a base hit to bring home Carlos Gonzalez, who had tripled. And then in the 5th inning, Soriano, a ground ball triple under the glove of Mora. That would score Marlon Byrd, and then a sac fly off the bat of Giovanni Soto. Nice catch by Ryan Scobort. It's 4-2. Our Cooney Lexus look back. Cooney Lexus, where luxury has an address. Marlon Byrd will lead it off against Jason Hamill here in the 7th inning. Ball game moving right along tonight. Byrd 1 for 2. Here's a comparison of the 2 pitchers. 20 less pitches through 6 innings for Jason Hamill.
Just very much total command of the game, and getting a lot of ground ball outs. Had 10 through 5 last time. Had 11 ground ball outs now.
Yeah, that's more than you normally get out of Jason Hamill.
Absolutely.
Fly balls, a lot of punch outs typically with Hamill. Who Wants Tacos fans, if you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies score 7+, for the Rockies taco special, text the keyword taco to 95323. Feed your Rockies fever only at Taco Bell. Soriano at the plate. Got fooled there.
Good matchup tomorrow. De La Rosa and Silva. You're gonna like to watch this one.
And Carlos Silva, 10-game winner. Oh, that was a good fastball.
High heat above the hands. Don't let him get extended. He likes the ball out over the plate, and he likes the ball down. So what you want to do is see that crouch that he's in, get him out of it. Doing that, you get it in above the hands. He'll come out of it, swing at it, contact made. It'll be a pop fly.
Eighth sellout of the season tonight. 48,065. 48,065. Breaking ball and a high fly ball to left field. Gonzalez now is going to hit that. And in front of the wall, he makes the catch.
Receive $10 to $15 in free concessions. That's right. You buy a power ticket to a ball game here at Coors Field, you get $10 to $15 in free concessions. It's available now for all ball games.
Giovanni Soto fouls it straight back. Cubs 5-11 their last 16 ball games here at Coors Field. That's despite a batting average of .297 during those 16 games. Here's the problem, though. They have an ERA of .752 at Coors Field their last 16. 1-2 on Soto. And they ring up Soto. 1-2-3 inning in the 7th inning for Jason Hamill. 4 strikeouts. Rockies lead 4-2. Stretch time at the ballpark.
We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day.
Colorado Rockies baseball on FSN is brought to you by the Great Colorado Payback, reuniting you with your money. By Big Brothers Big Sisters, be big and donate your car. You get a free tow and tax break, and you'll help change a kid's life. And by King Soopers, our people make the difference. Bottom of the 7th inning, Dexter Fowler up, and he tries to bunt his way on against Tom Gonzalez. He's 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts and a little flare that was caught by Derek Lee. Fowler, Barmes, and Gonzalez. Rockies trying to move to 4 games over 500. Dexter punishes that breaking ball to center field.
Well, a little bit of revenge going on. A couple of punch outs for Dexter. Saw it here in the top half of the 7th with a leadoff single.
Barmes on Thursday hitting the 2nd spot in the order and responded with a 2 for 5 ball game, including 3 RBIs, scored a run, had a stolen base. Tonight 0 for 3. See how the Rockies play this. With Fowler at first, Barmes, who can handle the bat at the plate. Shortened up. Cubs fans like tacos too. Well, oh, and that is pretty funny. One ball the count on Clint Barmes. Gonzalez had Fowler moving back to the bag. Did get an update on Aaron Cook. He went and had x-rays done on the lower leg where he'd fouled the ball off during batting practice today, and good news, the x-rays were negative and he's not expected to miss his next turn.
And that is good news. Fully believe that Aaron Cook will rectify anything that has gone south so far and be out and help Jim Tracy and this ball club win some games.
Two and one. Clint hitting .319 against left-handed pitching this year. Now, 3 weeks ago, he a 14-game hitting streak. Fowler takes off, line drive to center field. And it'll drop. Dexter goes first to third. Nobody out for the Rockies here in the 7th. And their RBI leader, Carlos Gonzalez, coming up.
Well, and I can tell you the reason Dexter, even on the line drive, kept going on the deal, because he's already at second or almost past. If it's caught, he's out anyway. So go ahead and make the move on it. Got a big jump on Gonzalez, and then Clint Barmas got a ball that was up on the zone. Off speed, got off the end of the bat, but hit enough out into the outfield and for a base hit for Clint Barmas, his first of the game.
CarGo, a single in the first, a triple in the third, and a double in the 5th. And this ball in the air to shallow center, and the catch is made. Fowler comes home. It's a sac fly. 5-2 Colorado. RBI number 67 for Gonzalez. And Alan Trammell is going to go get Tom Gonzalez.
By the way, before we're on our way to break here, after Gonzalez leaves the mound, Todd Helton had an RBI double in his first to bat, scored a run. He's tied 2 for 2 now in the 3rd inning. Nice catch by Bird. Really nice catch. Concentration, that's what does it. See it on the Hyundai cam. The head never left the fly to the baseball and allowed to get some leather on it.
Rockies up 5-2. Carlos Zambrano will come in and replace Tom Gonzalez. Rockies up 5-2. Jason Hamels outdueled that man Tom Gonzalez. Bottom of the 7th inning, 1 out. Tonight's call to the bullpen is brought to you by Xfinity Voice. Unlimited local and long distance calling. Call 1-800-XFINITY. Carlos Zambrano, former starter, now working out of the pen. And he is a guy that, when he was right, George, was one of the premier power arms in baseball, but he's lost velocity. He's been hit very hard this year. His stuff's not what it was.
6 home runs in 55 and 2/3 innings for Zambrano, a record of 3 and 6, an earned run average in the mid-5s. His velocity has diminished. Used to be a 94 to 96 mile an hour guy, and obviously it's been well documented about the tantrums. They need him to be straightened out. I think there's 2 more years left at $16 million. And at this point, there's not going to be a whole lot of people want to latch onto that, take it on with the other baggage that comes with it. So there's going to be a Cub. They've got to figure out how to make it work, and it's got to be a marriage between the two.
One out. Tulowitzki at the plate. Barmas at first. Here's the 2-0. 3-0. This is his 35th career relief outing. Zambrano as a starter, 106 and 71. Barmas going, and the pitch missed. Ball 4. Tulowitzki to first. Here comes Melvin Mora, who's had a perfect night at the plate. 3 singles.
Lots and lots of frustration. Frustrated with his team, frustrated with his own performance. And Lou's going, wait a minute, I'm 67 years old. Somebody needs to calm this down.
Zambrano was upset with Derek Lee and I think Ramirez, or Aramis Ramirez, because he felt like they could have dove for balls that were hit against him in the previous half inning of that particular ball game. And voiced his frustration. There's another hit for Mora. Barmes will have to stop at third. Colvin got to it very quickly. Now the bases are loaded for Ryan Spilborghs. Melvin Mora. That's 6 consecutive hits.
Fastball ran back to the middle of the plate, and he took advantage of it. He just dropped the head of the bat on it, didn't try to do too much. That's what he has done better than anything else. He just doesn't try to do a lot with the baseball. Zambrano shaking his head after that punch single to right. Seth Smith will now pinch hit for Ryan Spilborghs.
And I like this card played by Jim Tracy. Even though Spilborghs really has been swinging the bat exceptionally well, you have a guy who still throws hard, maybe not as hard as he once did, but a guy that wants to throw his fastball against a guy in Seth Smith who could turn on a bullet. Smith with the bases loaded, 6 for 14, 1 out. Rockies up 3 runs in the 7th. And Smith pops his foul and out of play. Repair any damage to your windshield by calling Safelite Auto Glass at 303-287-5000. Catch them online at safelite.com. Zambrano visiting with Giovanni Soto. That's the same look that Larry Rothschild had in the 8th inning last night. Again, Alan Trammell running the club. Lou Piniella is at a funeral.
I'm sure the discussion being Russell or Marshall.
This is pulled down the line, foul.
Left on left situation. Split finger at 86 on the last pitch.
I'd be surprised to see Marshall, George, only because he very often is setting up in the 8th inning on the plus side.
Well, it's right now he's sitting here with their club down 5-2. They don't want to get away. They'll go. There's Berg, the right-hander. Remember, he had that heavy sinker that he threw for strikes, and that shortens up innings.
One and 2 on Smith.
Marshall came into the game last night in the 8th to start it out when it was 5-2.
Didn't go well. Good job by Smith. You know, he's done that a handful of times this year, and every time he does it, you think of Todd Helton.
Wide stance, short pickup and delay, and then just throw the bat head at it and try to protect it. A lot of times against hard throwers, hitters will just throw a bat at it, and if they do get a level solid wood, you'll see a line drive into left field on a nasty pitch.
See the splits there. Smith has only 38 at-bats left on left this year. Another 1-2. And Zambrano strikes out Seth Smith with a high fastball at 95 miles an hour. So now with 2 outs, Brad Hopp will come up.
High heat, a lot of tail to it. First ball, he rode that high into the strike zone on the Hyundai cam. You can really see this rotation and movement of the pitch.
Barmes at third, Tulowitzki at second, Mora at first. Inside on Hopp. Brad just 1 for 11 in his career against Zambrano. Rafael Betancourt. And this is a flare to short that Starlin Castro will handle. Rockies load the bases. They do get a run. They leave them loaded in the 7th. They're up 5-2. Rockies up 5-2, top of the 8th inning. Jason Hamill still out there. He's done a terrific job tonight. All right, Cracker Jacks or Peanuts. Let's update our poll.
How many votes? I want to know. You wanted 1 million. How many they got?
That's tightened up some, though, George. Peanuts still leading, though. Keep those votes coming in.
800 votes right now. It's pretty good.
Mike Fontenot will lead it off. Seth Smith remains in the ballgame naturally in right field for Ryan Spilborghs. There's Smith. 0-1 on Fontenot. He's 0 for 2 in the game. Hamill's thrown only 75 pitches as he works here in the 8th. This is a line drive to center that's going to drop in front of Fowler. Let's see who the Cubs send up there. It's going to be Kosuke Fukudome. So Fukudome will pinch hit. Fukudome a couple of years ago got off to a great start with the Cubs, faded in the second half. Same thing happened last year. And now this season, they're playing Colvin out there. They're playing Bird in center field. And of course, Soriano has to play left field. So Fukudome's been doing a lot of spectating. One ball, one strike. Hitting just 136 his last 26 games, 8 for 59. 1-2.
He's always been a guy with a high leg kick, and then he falls off to the first base side. So if you threw him a pitch to the middle of the plate in, he had pretty good success. Everybody's starting to be a little better command away from him. He doesn't have much success there.
So they tried to go there. 2-2.
Good idea, just off of the plate, didn't induce the swing.
Fukudome overwhelmed by that fastball. 1 out in the 8th inning. And the rookie Tyler Colvin will come up.
Yeah, very good job of controlling the fastball. This fastball up and elevated a little bit more of the plate than what was with the previous pitch. Got by him in a hurry. Let's take a look at it right out of the hand on the Hyundai cam. You'll see again the rotation. It creates that late fade on the baseball, but that ball got by him in a hurry.
5 strikeouts for Jason Hamill. Colvin in the ball game's 0 for 3. A pop to second, a fly ball to center field, and a ground ball to second. Colvin's favorite big league player when he was in school at Clemson, George. There's a base hit. Jeff Baker. He's a big-time star at Clemson. And Now the Cubs are going to get the tying run to the plate. It's Starlin Castro.
Well, you're at the heart of the order, too. And I think that's the one thing about it. If you look at the pitches by inning, Hamill had cruised all the way through into the 5th, and here in the 8th with just 1 out, 9 pitches thrown. Tulowitzki going in to check to let him know who's got the bag on the double play ball.
Castro's 1 for 3, and Miguel Olivo going out.
Well, it's not going to be Bilal. Bilal put his jacket on, so we're just waiting to see if Betancourt's ready to go or not.
Betancourt apparently is ready. He's just waiting to see, am I coming in, or yep, here comes Jim Tracy. And Hamill's been really good, and the last thing Jim Tracy wants to see is Hamill get in trouble here and have that outstanding outing go by the wayside. Miguel Olivo pats him on the chest. Jim Tracy says something to him privately. And Jason Hamill will hear it from the sellout crowd. He was terrific. Allowed 2 runs in 7 1/3. Rafael Betancourt getting loose. 2 on and 1 out this Sunday after the game on Rockies Weekly with Jim Tracy. We'll talk about some of the moves with the trade deadline in the National League West. And we'll take a look back on the roller coaster ride that was the month of July. That's with Jim Tracy on Rockies Weekly tomorrow right after the ball game. Right here on FSN Rocky Mountain. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, Alana Rizzo. Betancourt will face the 20-year-old Starlin Castro. .48 strikeouts, only 5
Well,
walks.
that's the biggest key to it. I mean, coming into a ball game, you want a guy working out of your bullpen that A, throws strikes, doesn't walk people, and B, that can punch out somebody. And he can do just that. Castro singled back in the 6th inning.
Yesterday, Betancourt pitched the 8th inning. 1-2-3 8th inning in which he struck out the side. High ball 1. The book on Castro, like a lot of young hitters, maybe like most good hitters, he can handle the fastball. And in the month of May, tore up big league pitching once he got here, and then saw a lot of off-speed stuff in June and struggled. But to his credit, according to Rudy Jaramillo, he's really made an adjustment. And he's had a strong July.
Well, what he's done, I think more than anything, is he's really picked the leg up and set down on it, on that back leg, to stay a little bit longer, not fly off the baseball. Something very pronounced in his stance at the plate now that I hadn't seen in the past. This is a young kid playing at the highest level in the game. Doing quite well, I may add.
One. It's a slider, and it's 1-2. Fontenot at second base, he singled, and with 1 out, Tyler Colvin singled. Hamill responsible for both of those runners. Jason 7 1/3, 6 hits. Did not walk a batter, and he struck out 5. He's now got 100 strikeouts on the season in 117 1/3 innings. And just 31 walks, better than 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. That's outstanding. Fastball, and Starlin Castro is gone. 2 outs.
Elevated a fastball on him. When he got it up, he didn't have an opportunity to catch up. Last night, Betancourt struck out the side. Hamill excited to see the 2nd out of the inning. Would like to finish it off with a very good veteran hitter. Last night, the bullpen through 3 innings struck out 6.
Derek Lee tonight, 0 for 3. reached on a fielder's choice in the 6th inning. Hit the center field and deep. Fowler going back. He can't get it. Ball game tied up. Derek Lee with his 12th home run of the year. Just his 2nd hit on this road trip for the Cubs, and he's tied it up in the 8th.
Fastball ran right back to the middle on the big fellow. He showed you his hit zone, Amika hit zone a minute ago. He likes the ball belt high and a little bit elevated in. Dexter, gallant effort. Hyundai Cam. How close did he get to it? Quite a ways away, but all he could do is watch that sail into the pond.
Ramirez takes low, ball 1.
Tough one to swallow when this happens. I mean, as a starting pitcher, you know, he gets charged, and you look at his line tomorrow, 4 runs and 7 1/3, and you know, trust me, much better than that. And the job he did in this ball game. As many times as a starting pitcher watches his runs come in and a game go away, there's a lot more times you're shaking Betancourt's hand for getting you out of a jam.
7th home run allowed by Raphael this year. Nobody feels worse about it than he does.
Well, the hardest thing to do as a relief pitcher when you do fail in your chance is to walk in and face your 24 teammates with what you have just let happen.
And Jim Tracy feels the pain as well. 2-1 on Ramirez. Popped up right side. Hop hoping for a play. 2-2. That home run by Derek Lee, his 175th as a Chicago Cub. It breaks a tie with Andre Dawson for 11th on the all-time Cub list.
Well, a lot of people in Chicago want to see him go away. But you know what? He's been good for their organization. He's been good for baseball. There's still some baseball left in him. Turns 35 this year.
Two and 2 on Ramirez. Single back in the 2nd. 1 for 3. Rockies in the bottom of the 8th. They'll have Olivo to lead off and then the pitcher spot.
Houston Street is throwing for the Rockies now. Either way, he'll pitch tonight.
Olivo set up in, and the breaking ball's line foul. You saw Betancourt yesterday, George, throw a changeup, which we almost never see from him.
Pitch he's worked on to left-handers.
Another ball fouled off by Ramirez. Good news at Petco Park, 7th inning. Florida leading 4-1 over the Padres. Rockies began the day 8 behind San Diego. Just a game behind the Dodgers. And the Dodgers lost. Rockies could catch them with a victory for 3rd in the NL West. And this is popped up short center field.
Tough sky right now, I can tell you that. Dexter's under it.
Derek Lee, a 3-run home run to tie it up here in the 8th. Ecotech game summary. Rockies got a 3-run home run in the 2nd from Miguel Olivo, added a run in the 3rd. They were up 4-2 after 5, 5-2 through 7, and then Derek Lee, a 3-run home run off Rafael Betancourt. And the Rockies all even as they go to the plate in the bottom of the 8th inning. Sean Marshall is on in the 8th. That didn't work out too well for him yesterday. The 8th inning for the Cubs overall didn't look pretty. 12 runs they relinquished. The Rockies would settle for maybe 1 or 2 here in tonight's version of the 8th inning. Olivo will lead it off, and in the on-deck circle, Jonathan Herrera.
He and Ionetta are the only 2 right-handed guys the Rockies have. Marshall, very nasty stuff. Hard slider, good fastball, good command. Yesterday, everything blew up. One of those days at the yard. I just wished it would have never happened.
2/3 of an inning, he allowed 5 runs on 5 hits.
In the last 12 and 2/3 innings, the Chicago Cub bullpen, 30 hits, 24 runs, an earned run average of 17.05.
Two-strike count on Olivo. Hit the same spot. That door gets hit, George. It's really loud.
Yeah, the plexiglass, yeah, it gets pretty loud down there.
Got him on a breaking ball. Olivo's gone.
I'll tell you what, you can really see him bend that breaking ball and get way up on top of it, and just tremendous break. It reminds me a little bit of Zito's, but with a little bit more velocity.
And Herrera takes low, ball 1. Jonathan not getting nearly as much time naturally with the return of Troy Tulowitzki. 0 for 6 on the homestand, 0 for his last 9. He will work a count. 2-0 with Fowler on deck. Slowly hit to short. Castro.
Nice play.
Yeah, real nice play.
That's all you can say about it. Nice play. He came in, stayed down low on the ball, never came up to make the throw. Stayed down, stayed low with the throw, and result of an out. Very fundamentally sound play by him. You'll see a lot of shortstops come up and they'll raise and try to flip that ball, but he just stayed down low with it. Tremendous arm strength from underneath and accuracy.
Well, his transition from leather to hand was a blur. Fowler a base hit in the 7th inning. He scored the Rockies' 5th run on a sac fly from Carlos Gonzalez. 1 ball, 1 strike. Street will handle the 9th inning. Now this is where the Rockies began their rally last night. 2 outs, George, in the 8th inning.
I was sitting there looking at that last night. That inning, matter of fact. Fowler struck out, hit a home run against Marshall.
And a base hit. Here we go. I can feel it. What are you giving me a look for?
Just take one. You don't need to throw a 12 spot. It'd be nice if they threw a 12 spot up there. If they did that 2 nights in a row, there'd be all kinds of people at Stats Inc. and all those places be going nuts. Trying to figure that one out. It's like back-to-back no hitters. You know, yeah, back-to-back nights of those.
Barmes 1 for 4. Strike on Clint. Clint was 2 for 2. Scored 2 runs. Had a double in that 8th inning yesterday. Mora, by the way, was 2 for 2 in that inning. Fowler 1 for 2, a home run. Spilborghs was 1 for 2. Gonzalez 2 for 2. Tulo 2 for 2. 1-1. Hop was 1 for 1 and a walk. Iannetta 1 for 1 and a walk. Stewart 1 for 2, 2-run homer. And not all that far from hitting a grand slam. They're playing in the backyard. Hey, you're up again. Barmes almost got called on. I still keep marvel at that. Stewart reaches. He's up for the 3rd time in the 8th inning. 1-1 on Barmes. There goes Fowler. And the breaking ball is taken for a strike. Clint letting Fowler get in scoring position. And now he'll try to drive him in.
11 stolen bases now for Dexter. Got the big jump. They didn't even want to throw the baseball down. That's a good chance having this ball get out of there. Curveball outside half of the strike zone. Picks it up for the called strike 2.
1-2. Drive left field right at Soriano, who almost lost that in the lights. Can't hit it any harder than that. We'll go to the 9th inning. 5 for the Rockies, 5 for the Cubs. Colorado Rockies baseball on FSN is brought to you by Xfinity Voice. Unlimited local and long distance. Call 1-800-XFINITY. By Geico, 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Larry H. Miller Nissan, driven by you. Rockies blew it open last night with a 12-run 8th inning. They go to the 9th tonight, tied with the Cubs at 5. After the ball game, the Rockies post-game report. Tom Helmer and some of the details.
Yeah, coming up, we'll talk about Speedy Gonzalez. Carlos Gonzalez just a home run short of the cycle. Maybe he can finish that off in the bottom half of the 9th. Also getting Miggy with it. Miguel Oliva with a big 3-run bomb tonight. We'll talk about all that, plus Melvin Mora, and we'll get you into the clubhouse. It's all coming up on the Rockies post-game report. Drew?
All right, Tom. Houston Street tied or ahead in the 9th inning. You generally see your team's closer in your home yard, and Houston Street will face Marlon Byrd, Alfonso Soriano, and Giovanni Soto. 3 dangerous guys. Combined 42 home runs with that trio. It'll be the 16th appearance for Houston. And his 2nd since getting hit during batting practice with that line drive off the bat of Ian Stewart that took him to the hospital. Byrd is 1 for 3. And a comebacker. Street leaps and makes the play. 1 out.
It's all about reaction, squaring up, and he does a good job of that, as good as anybody in baseball, to be able to react to a ball right back up the middle.
Good athlete. Soriano 1 for 3. He had the triple down the left field line to drive in a run in the 5th. Well, he doesn't like anything spinning right now, does he, George? That's the second time he got badly fooled.
Well, I think he's just looking fastball middle half in. He's just looking to jerk everything. He's got a very close stance. He's very close to the mound, or I should say in the front part of the batter's box. See where that front foot is. He's got a wide stance. He just picks it up and spins it right the other way.
Soriano's always done a couple of things. He has produced a lot of home runs. He's produced a lot of strikeouts.
Well, and again, he's had success against Houston Street, too. He's 4 for 9 in his career.
Olivo sets up off the plate. And a soft liner gloved by Barnes. He was shaded up the middle. Well done. 2 outs.
Off the end of the bat. One thing, Houston Street, fastball slider, he doesn't miss his target often, and that ball was off the end of the bat, and because of where Barmes was playing, it allowed him to come over and make a play on the baseball to retire Soriano. Pitch to the defense and look for success. Exactly what happened. Quick inning, just 5 pitches. As soon as Smitty wraps this one up.
We'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Rockies need just one. Carlos Gonzalez, little pony, will lead it off. Here's the night for Carlos Gonzalez. His first at bat, a single. His second at bat, a triple off the very top of the center field wall. And then he had a double to left center field. And in his 4th at bat in the 7th, he hit a line drive to center. Bird had to lay out to make the catch, but Dexter Fowler was at 3rd, sac fly. So he's 3 for 3. Single, double, triple, and the sac fly. All he's missing, George.
Yeah, I'd like to see it right here. What do you think?
A walk-off home run to produce a cycle. That would be a nice way to conclude a Saturday night in front of a sellout crowd of more than 48,000.
And no telling how many at home.
And the last cycle came against the Cubs, Troy Tulowitzki, a year ago. Here we go. Sean Marshall against Little Pony, Carlos Gonzalez. High drive, deep right, touchable. He's done it.
Are you kidding me? Come on. Holy cow.
Unbelievable. 6th career cycle in Rockies history. It took only 1 pitch. The party's on. Wow. He is amazing. 21st home run for Gonzalez. A walk-off winner, 6-5, Colorado. Single, triple, double, sac fly, bomb. Let's go home.
Man, he's just sitting here looking for a ball that he could drive, and he got it. It's up in the upper deck. Look at that bench go crazy. Look at Giambi hopping over the wall to get to the home plate area. Everybody knew it in the ballpark. Those 48,000 got to their feet in a hurry. High heater. They're throwing him everything. Marshall just started walking to the shower, and the Rockies are walking to the plate. Man, oh man. Tulowitzki's like, are you kidding me what this kid's doing?
Second deck shot, and Little Ponies with a lot of Rizzo. A lot of all yours.
All right, guys, thanks so much. Unbelievable. Carlos Gonzalez, you just had to hit the home run for the cycle, and what a home run to hit, a walk-off to give your team the win.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Look at this crowd. It's a great feeling. It's the first time I hit a walk-off in the big leagues, and you know, I did it for everybody here. I hope everybody enjoyed it.
I think by the sound of the crowd, you can definitely say that they enjoyed it. Now, be honest, you knew that you had an opportunity to hit for the cycle. Was it difficult for you in your last 2 at-bats to not go up there and try to knock it out of the park?
Well, I'll tell you what, I wasn't really thinking about the cycle. I was just trying to get on base for my teammates. You know, I have a really good hitters behind me, and that's all I was trying to do. I was trying to get on base, just put the barrel to the ball, and, you know, this is an amazing night.
You know, you mentioned an amazing night. After the 8th inning last night, where you guys put together 11 consecutive hits, 12 runs to get the 17-2 win over the Cubs, you come back and have a really emotional and fantastic night. It was pretty hard to come back and do something as exciting as last night, but you did it tonight.
Well, you know what? Last night was a great game. I think we need it because we have the past few weeks we have a really tough games, and you know, and right now we're just trying to play better baseball and try to be back on the top.
And what can you say to these fans that are staying around here waiting? They believe in the Rockies, even when you guys had a rough stretch, 2-9 on the road trip. You come back and you've already won 3 straight.
Well, you know what? We did it for you guys.